Phone cut me off. But yeah, I guess basically every time I hear my mind do that thing, uh, that um, like I used to just get these ideas and I you know I was just excited about engineering something useful, like creating something useful, creating something interesting. And I feel now like I'm kind of going through this time where I'm like, that's sort of irrelevant. It's way more like I'm letting myself sink in rather than speaking and thinking and creating in this constant state of needing to create, needing to express, needing to. Which is why I haven't actually done like a check-in like this in a long time. Like I used to make kind of like life documentary entries a little more often, and it's been a while. I think yeah, that's the big reason for that is just I look at the whole YouTube phenomenon. I look at the whole Instagram, Facebook, etc. Mostly, like it's just all of us are really trying to be heard, trying to be seen, trying to be known, trying to build followers, trying to build. It's like commodification of our entire lives. Like it's sickening, and yet in some ways, like I've gotten swept up in it. Like I mean, I've been obsessed with making videos. I've been documenting myself, my talking face, for most of my life since I was 12. It started as like a diary. It was faster than writing to just speak into a camera lens. Um, but I've really looked at my own like the monster that's within me, and it's and I guess that's what's like. I'm not a very good CEO anymore. I'm not a very good like I'm trying to figure out what it is I am both good at and can do with a straight conscience, with a clear conscience, with like an energized bounce in my step. And I'm like, I still wish to, I don't want to be an artist for artist's sake. I don't want to like performatively act in any way. And I was doing that. I honestly was. I had this whole, there was a lot of ego in it for me. There was certainly, and I came to recognize that, and I couldn't, after I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go and like produce a catchy tune that, or make some video, or like if the motivation behind something in my mind was like egoic in some way, it would really like turn me off. And so I haven't really been, I've been in this like gridlock where I can't, it's gotten me to the point where I'm in a stasis. And now I'm like, now are you upholding the image of the ascetic sort of like monk meditator on the mountain that is like above it all, and so then you won't come down, and like you're too afraid of your ego that you won't actually step in and exist in reality, do some things in reality, and play within that space and not take yourself so fucking seriously. Like I realize the ways in which I have kind of taken myself too seriously. Yeah. I guess it's maybe just being in this house or being in this room. I don't know what triggered me to make this just now, but yeah, just thinking about these walls. They used to have the pictures of my. I used to put this entire wall was covered with 3x5s back in the day. Something like before Facebook, before all that. I had this obsession with making videos, and then like documenting like having the sort of like picture book of my life displayed in some way. And so it's interesting now, yeah, and of course there's a part of me that still thinks about possibilitizes future things. I know the sort of Facebook of the future, all this is augmented reality, and it's plastered all around us. I mean, the pictures, the ideas that we want to surround ourselves with will literally be embedded into our lives in a really deep way. So like it's the world's about to be a trip, and in some ways I got so excited about that trip we were about to go on, but now it's like, God, I look at like, you know, I used to even believe like it made it. I would get all like this is another way in which I'm jaded. It's like I think about the government, right? I used to be like, if we just get Barack Obama into office, or if we just, do this thing, like if the right representative gets there, everything can change. Dude, I feel like my old self was so naive. It's like now I honestly have come to realize that most people don't know the real game being played. Like the plot is so thick. Politicians are owned by corporations, like straight up. And the system must be completely renovated if it's to work. And I don't even want to be the one that fights the system. I don't think that's productive. I think what's more productive is to find a new place, create a new system that's just dope. And sorry, I'm trying to get away from using language too much, but just create a place that's like insightful, is creates facilitate. It's like innovative. It's off the grid. It's sustainable. It's like it's got that old feeling of like, it's not so indoctrinated with screens. It's yet we still have technology. Yet we still have 3D printing. We use the best of. I imagine this utopia, this like mecca, that if it existed right now, I would be there. Like I would be there. I don't need to create it. But then again, if I don't, who will? That whole conversation used to go on in my head. Again, like I can't even explain how deep the complex of like ego and sort of savior complex, whatever that shit is, like I have had to like that's been a whole multi-year deal for me to really confront, understand, and be at peace with the fact that I can't wear the weight of changing the world on my shoulders. I have to give that to God. I have to give that to Source. I have to really not live in the burden of that, but still live in the true higher purpose that I'm here for. Live with agency, live with purpose, live with conviction, not feel stagnant. Like I do feel stagnant in my life, and it's partially due to the fact that I'm just like, it's interesting. I ran so hard from self-consciousness to say like, I was living out of the box so hard that I became self-conscious in that. I became, and I think I started to like hold myself in this regard that I was like something special, something different. I was here to change things, and I did. I like in my mind, I wouldn't admit it like out loud, but I think somewhere inside I'd really like kind of put myself on a pedestal. And I was living so loud, wearing fucking glitter pants everywhere, wearing like just trying on top of like maybe there was some true things happening, but I was really sure trying to get a lot of attention doing it like shamelessly. It's kind of funny to look back on that state of mind, and like, oh my gosh. But you know what? You can't be embarrassed. You can't. You have to look at that as just part of your growth, right? Like part of your process. But I'm in it's a new time now. Anyway, more to come. I should probably go back to dinner, see what's going on in there. Anyway, I might be moving back to the house now that I'm broke and have to, kind of like got myself into this pickle.